What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, invading California for NAMM 2020. We are here with Marc of the Arson Choir. Thank you for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, buddy.
Yeah. It's so awesome to have you here. Trophy Nation is right now what's currently out, but I know that you are currently working on some new stuff. For people, like, could Trophy Nation almost serve as like a clear representation on the direction that Arson Choir is going?
You know what, dude? Absolutely not. We've been getting a lot of great feedback of people saying, like, this isn't just the next step, this was the next evolution. We've kind of incorporated a new vocalist. We made sure we got a bassist this time. And with all those new inputs, it really feels like this next record is almost like the next level of the same band.
Okay.
So Trophy Nation is cool. I'm still really proud of those songs. We still play a couple of them, but it's really been great to have, the next level of this band starting to show for this next record.
Well, I've noticed that, like, really, like, when I was listening to the Trophy Nation EP, like, I thought a song like White Girls was very different from a song like Just a Tip or something like that. So, like, I think it's fair to say that, like, the Arson Choir is a fairly experimental band anyway, right?
Definitely. Experimental hardcore, mathcore. I try to just write whatever I'm feeling for that day, and a lot of what this next record is going to be is a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression that came from. I've had a lot of loss recently. A lot of family members have passed, so that this new record kind of reflects how I feel. Maybe not just maybe not in the lyrical context, but in the riffing, in the song like structure. Like, there's a lot of, you're supposed to feel anxious, and I feel like I got a lot of that across.
So it was clearly like what I'm curious is there like a preconceived idea when it comes to a song like this is what I want to do, or do things happen like organically, or do you like look for inspiration, or does inspiration kind of come out of nowhere?
Wow, that's a good question. A lot of the times, I'll put together like 40 riffs. I'll take them to the guys, and I'll keep on bringing the riffs until I get my way. Like, that's literally how the writing process goes. Like, I'll just keep on bringing the same riffs until they're like, fine, we'll play this already.
Now, I sadly missed your show on Friday, but I always say that seeing a band live is very different from just simply listening to the album. For you, is there maybe a similar energy that you put into your live presence as you do in songwriting, or is it like two separate arts altogether?
No, they absolutely correlate. In fact, one of the guys that came to play with us a couple weeks ago, a great band called Steak Sauce Mustache. If you haven't heard of them, I highly recommend them. He really liked the record, and then he played with us and was like, yeah, the record doesn't match what you guys do live. There's so much more energy live that it's hard to capture that kind of energy on record, because we move around a lot. We throw our guitars around. We jump off of things. We have a good time, and we try to convey that in the music. And sometimes a record doesn't always get that. So, like, with this one, we're very happy with where it ended. We're very happy that, like, we played as fast and as loud as we could. So hopefully.
And I imagine you thrive off of crowd interaction.
Oh, definitely. If it's one person, 10 people, 100 people, like, my view has always been, especially with music, especially with how long I've been playing music, you never know what can happen. Like, I could walk out of the hall today and get hit by a car. Like, shit happens. And every time I get to play music, it could be the last time that I play music. That's how we treat it. And if you don't treat music that way, if you don't treat your everyday that way, it kind of holds a special place for you. So every show is special. Every show should be special, because there might not be another one.
Yeah, of course. And always go to every single show, because you never know. Like, Scott Weiland played in my, like, right across the street from my house. Yeah. 2 days before he passed away, and I was like, and I said that day I'll catch him next time.
Oh God, that hurts, bro. Yeah. That hurts me, bro.
Yeah. So, you kind of mentioned that this is also like a personal upcoming record for you. Is the record like, can it be open to interpretation, or are you trying to maybe engage the listener into seeing things from your point of view?
No. So the music, the instrument content can be completely different from what my vocalist is doing. There's a lot of stuff that he touches on in this new record where there's some very personal stuff, but there's some very relatable stuff. There's one super political song, and there's one that's like about losing a friend, about just having a friend that's just no longer there for you. And I feel like we can all relate to something like that. Like people grow up and get older, and sometimes those friendships don't really carry the same weight that they used to. Like people have other priorities. People get family. Us doing music, that takes a lot of time, and that's really what the this new record hopefully reflects some of that, but I hope people can relate to it. But if you don't, like, that's cool too. Like, just come out and have a good time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have two more questions for you. We'll get the hardest question out of the way.
Sure.
How do you know when a song is done?
So a good place to know when a song is done for me is when I've pissed off my drummer. When my drummer's pissed and like we've done as many time changes and as many tempo changes as possible, then it's done, because then he's like, I can't do any more. I can't, like, once his brain goes like, this is as much process as I can do, then we're good. Then it's done.
Okay. That's the most unique answer I've gotten for that. And last but not least, I'd like to just do a quick gear rundown with you. What's in the Arson Choir arsenal?
So this is going to be like, what I use right now is I start with a 6534 from PV. I'm running through an Emperor cab with Eminence speakers. And then my board's real simple. I just use TC Sentry noise gate and Bion boost from PLX Effects. And my main go-to guitar is the ESP, the Ben Weinman Signature. And that Evertune bridge is just a lifesaver with our show, because, like I said, we throw stuff around and we get wild. So it's nice to have a guitar that stays in tune nonstop. And that's basically it. Like, I'm a real meat and potatoes kind of guitar player. There's not much more to it than that, man.
Is it just because it suits the style of music that you play that you use this gear, or is it just something that you've always been familiar with and that's just...
You know what? My stuff has kind of like changed over time. Like, if I would have told you from the beginning of Arson to now, I think I've matured in my sound, in my gear, in my ear. But I gotta be ready to ready to play in 5 minutes, and that's what it is. It's an amp, it's a guitar, it's an overdrive pedal, and if I'm good to go, that's it. That's the Arson show. And if I can't do that, then I'll make something else work. But that's got to be like bare minimum, ready to go, hardcore, mathcore. Like, that's it.
Simplicity.
Yeah.
Yes. So before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for your time today.
Man,
Yeah.
thank you.
I just know you have a show February 23rd.
We actually just added a show February 14th in Fullerton. It's actually the only reason I'm promoting it is because it's actually for a women's sanctuary. So that's real important to me. You know, we're very we try to stay active in the scene, but we try to be active in our community. And it's for a women's shelter, February 15th in Fullerton at a place called Program.
Okay. Is there just anything else? Like, when could we be expecting the new Arson Choir?
So we're hoping like end of February, beginning of March to start dropping like videos, music, behind the scenes stuff, which I think that's important. A lot of bands haven't been really into showing the studio process, and I'd like to be able to kind of get back to showing there's no magic. There's just guitars, drums, somebody pressing record.
Yep. Maybe that is magic.
Hopefully.
Well, thank you so much, Marc.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, everybody, Marc of the Arson Choir. New stuff coming very soon. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.